Welcome back, y'all, and happy Thursday to you. This is the Bluechip Breakdown, and I'm your host, Bull. Today, we'll be taking a look at the status report for Tennessee and Mississippi State that just dropped last night. There will be more that drops every night, all the way up until like 90 minutes before kickoff. So all this stuff is going to be subject to change. We'll also be taking a look at some of these prop bets for the game. Hopefully, we can make y'all some money this weekend. Please do us a very big favor. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That helps us out tremendously. And also, thank you to everyone that is a member of this channel and that's donating to the channel. That's a great way to support what we do. And if you would like to become a member, then you can do so by clicking on the join button just below this video. And you will get the exclusive content of the film breakdowns and film sessions that we do on this channel. And also, if you would like to donate, you can donate as little as $1 by scanning the Cash App QR code, wherever that is on the screen. And we would greatly appreciate all that. All the links will be down in the description below. So taking a look right now at this status report, okay, for Mississippi State, what we're going to see is several players just listed as out. So most of these players have already been out. Some of them are actually going to be key players. So there's not too many surprises here. The one player that I do believe would be new to this list is going to be Cannon Boone. He is a backup offensive lineman. He plays at center. I've seen him play in some other spots too, but he is out for this game. So what that would do for Mississippi State is take away some of the depth from that offensive line. The offensive line hasn't been great this year anyway. So that's probably a good thing for Tennessee, but it's never a good thing to see players injured. So we don't wish injuries on anybody. As far as the players that are probable, we have Mario Craver, who we talked about as one of our key players this week. He plays wide receiver, and he's really good, okay? He can take the top off of a defense. He's got good hands. He runs good routes. He's tough, gritty, physical, all that type of stuff. But he's listed as probable. I would expect that he's probably going to go in this game. That's typically what probable means. But again, all this stuff is subject to change. The next player, DeMonte Russell, okay, he is a defensive lineman. He's listed as probable. Now, from what I could find, it looks like he's been out like over the past couple of weeks. So this would be his first game back, and he is going to be, one of the key guys up front for Mississippi State's defense. So it would be big for them if they can get him back. But their front, honestly speaking, y'all, it's not great in run support, in pass rush, in any of that type of stuff. So adding him back, again, that would be big for Mississippi State, but I don't think it's too much for Tennessee fans or for our team to have to worry about. Now, on down to who's out for Tennessee, we already know that Jordan Thomas and Kenny Pilley, they've been out pretty much, for most of the season. Well, Jordan Thomas out for all the season. Kenny Pilley has been out for about like a month or so now. And then Edwin Spillman, he's still out. He's been out for pretty much the entire season. Hopefully he can get back healthy. We've talked about him pretty much every single week, but he's a guy that as a young linebacker, he needs to be trying to get in some of those reps, but if you can't go, you just can't go. So hopefully he will be able to get back to it soon. Now, Bishop being out, playing at running back, he's the backup guy right there behind DeSant for most of the season. Not quite sure what's going on with him. I think that they're just kind of keeping him out to rest him for the Georgia game coming up next week. But the bigger question mark for me right here is going to be with Cam Seldon. It sounds like he is going to redshirt this year. So the depth for Tennessee at running back it's starting to dwindle, right? We already know about DeSant. Peyton Lewis looked really good last weekend as a true freshman. I trust him. I think he can get things done. I like what I've seen from him just as far as pass pro goes, but especially running that football. He kind of looks like an upperclassman, I would say. But my question is going to be who's running back number 3, because we still have Keith, who is a redshirt freshman. He's a bigger body guy, just like Peyton Lewis is. I think that he could get some burn in this game. I would actually love to see him get some. But we've got a couple of other, walk-on running backs like Hunter Barnes, Patrick Wilk. Those guys could maybe get some burn too if it's a situation where Keith maybe this isn't picking things up the right way, especially whenever it comes to things like pass protection. And then the last player, Tyree West, who he's not a starter at strong side D end for us, but he does rotate in a lot. He's played very well this entire season, but he's listed as questionable. So hopefully he can go. It will probably be the same situation with Bishop, where we're just trying to keep him out for this game, get some other guys some reps and opportunities and things like that. We've got plenty of bodies up front. So while it does suck to lose a player like Tyree West for this game, we have other guys that can step up, I think, and give us a whole lot of a whole lot of plays and things like that as well. So things I think look pretty solid for Tennessee just as far as the status report goes, and hopefully it can stay this way, or maybe it gets just a little bit better for us. All right, y'all. Now let's take a look at some of these prop bets. This is going to be from FanDuel and Sportsbook, so they're not sponsoring this channel or anything like that. Just letting y'all know where this information is coming from. If y'all want to place y'all's bets. So first and foremost, I love to look at the spread. Tennessee's favored by 23.5 right now. I like that. I think that Tennessee could most definitely win this game by about that many points. This is a defense for Mississippi State that's not that good, so Tennessee should be able to get the offense completely clicking, put up a lot of points, several different ways. I think that Tennessee should be able to really, control this game. I think that we should be able to do exactly what we want to do. The biggest question mark is going to be what happens with our defense versus offense. The offense is actually good. If y'all haven't been paying attention to this channel, we've broken everything down. But the offense for Mississippi State is actually pretty solid. I think it's going to be one of the top, probably 3 or 4 offenses that Tennessee has seen up to this point in the season, and maybe for the rest of this season. So we'll see what happens there. But I would most definitely, if it's just me personally, I would take that bet. But y'all do what y'all want with it. Now let's come on down to the touchdown scores, and of course, Dylan Sampson has the best odds to score at least 1 touchdown in this game, and Nico has the second best odds. Now, for Nico to be considered a touchdown scorer, it cannot be a passing touchdown. He has to either run it in or catch a pass. I don't know if he's gonna run it in just because he hasn't done that much this season. I think what he did it only one time that I could think of versus NC State. Might be missing one time or two, but this is a game that I feel like Tennessee wants to try to showcase Nico's legs. So I really would not be too surprised if he did score, but that's one that I probably wouldn't touch. And then we've also got Boone, who's going to be Mississippi State's running back. He could probably score in this game. I think that Tennessee's run defense is really strong, but also, man, he does a good job catching the football out of the backfield. So with the way that Mississippi State, runs their offense, there's a lot of misdirection and stuff, and sometimes they can get the running back isolated with one of our linebackers. I think most of our linebackers have solid speed, but if they get the correct matchup in the right situation, I could see him scoring a touchdown. So that's one that, I could see you maybe placing some money on. And then we've got Johnny Daniels, who is another one of their running backs. I could maybe see him scoring. Again, it would have to probably come from a pass out of the backfield. I don't really see them scoring rushing wise, but I would say that if you're going to put your money on one of their running backs to score, and if you don't think it's going to be rushing, if you think it's going to be with someone passing the football to him, I would go with Booth on that one. And then we've also got Chris Brazzell. He's got some pretty solid odds to score in this game as well. I could see him scoring, but I really feel like for Tennessee, the goal is probably going to be to get guys like Squirrel White and Brew in the end zone, maybe first and foremost, but you kind of got to take what the defense gives to you, or just kind of, throw the football to, whoever's open. So Brazzell could also score. I know I'm not being very solid with this stuff right now, but I would say that if you really want to put some money on this, I would go with D-Samp. That's almost a 100% surefire bet that he is going to score. Now, let's come down to scoring 2+ touchdowns. Again, man, D-Samp, he's got the best odds. I think that's another solid bet. You know what I mean? You got pretty good odds right there. And then as far as Nico scoring 2, I don't know if I would touch that. I don't think that he's gonna even try to score twice. And again, it's gonna have to be with his legs. It's not gonna be with passing and things like that. Y'all also double check these rules because I looked at them before and that's what they said, but things can change. So just make sure that that's actually what it is. If they are including passing touchdowns, then for sure Nico with 2, that would be a no-brainer, but I don't think that is the case. Then we've also got Booth, who we talked about earlier. I don't see him scoring twice by any means. Really, none of these other players scoring twice outside of, I think, Chris Brazzell or Squirrel White. I could see Squirrel White scoring twice in this game because, like I said, I feel like we're going to try to target him to get a touchdown in this game, and he can definitely take the top off of a defense. I think that we could throw the football deep. He's going to have his opportunities, and I mean, look at that, man, plus 11,000. I would put some money on that. You don't have to put too much to win a solid amount. So I would take that bet right there with Squirrel White if I was y'all. All right, so let's come on down to Nico and passing yards. So it looks like they're basically saying that he's going to throw for about 250 yards in this game. And I could see that. You know what I mean? I could most definitely see that. I think this is a game that Nico is going to break 300 in. As a matter of fact, I think that he might break 400 in this game. So let's see what else they got up here for us, and let's see what the odds look like. So if you want to go 325 plus, which is what I just kind of talked about, that is plus 800. I think that is a good bet to take in this game. Nico's going to have all day to operate back there with a very clean pocket. Mississippi State is almost dead last in sacks per game. They're averaging 0.78 sacks per game, so they don't have a very strong pass rush. I think the Tennessee's offensive line, especially if we get into some of that, 7-8 man pros, but we've got a lot of people in there blocking for Nico. He's going to find somebody down the field, and he's been more on target for the past couple of games. And really, last game, he's really starting to come into his own. So those numbers might go up. If I was y'all, I would try to jump on that as quickly as possible. I think that's pretty much easy money. Now, the other part of that is, how long is Nico going to play in this game? I think that he'll probably play maybe for 3 quarters or so. That should still be enough for him to get close to, I'd say 400 yards, but definitely over that 325. So for Michael Van Buren, that's going to be Mississippi State's quarterback. Looks like the best odds, or it looks like what they're pretty much saying he's going to throw for is about 200 yards. And I can see that, but I'll be honest with you, I could also see a world where maybe he throws for more than that, especially if, like we talked about, if it's a case where Tennessee, starts to play some of the backup guys, and he's still going to be out there throwing the football, I'm sure, trying to get things right, trying to showcase how their offense looks, because they've got to go out and try to get more people to come and play for their team. So I could actually see him throwing for over 200 yards in this game. So I would probably take that right there, throwing for 200 plus yards, and that's at plus 142. Throwing for more than 225, that's when things start to get a little bit iffy. I don't know if he'll be able to throw for that much. The other part of that, too, is just like we talked about with Mississippi State's front on defense, not great in pass rush. Their offensive line isn't necessarily great in pass protection. And I think the Tennessee's front is going to, really bring the heat to their offensive line. So I could see a situation where he doesn't really have a lot of opportunities to throw the football down the field, but they will operate with some 3-step drops and throw it down the field very quickly. So we'll see how we can hold up in pass coverage from that perspective. Now, let's come on down and see what else we got. All right, so Nico's passing touchdowns. Looks like FanDuel think that he's going to throw for 3 or more touchdowns. I can see that. I would probably take that bet because it's 3 or more. But then the next one would be 4 or more. I don't know if I would touch that at this point, just because whenever Tennessee has been throwing the ball deep, it seems like, whenever the pass is actually caught, we're not always scoring. So if we get stuck down there, on like the 10-yard line, we all know that we're going to run it. So DeSant would get those touchdowns. I think that the safest bet would be going for the 3+ at plus 225. And let's come on up a little bit here to Michael Van Buren. Looks like FanDuel thinks that he's going to throw for 2 touchdowns. I could see that too. I think that they're spot on with that. But I could also see him throwing for less. I could see him having more yards than he has touchdowns. So if it was me personally, I might actually put, well, you know what? It's not as good of odds for you if you put money on the 1+ touchdown, but I think that that's more realistic. I think that he would probably only throw 1 touchdown. I can't necessarily see him throwing for 2, again, unless it comes towards the end of the game in some mop-up duty, which still counts. So safest bet, okay, final answer would be 2+ touchdowns at plus 225. Now, let's talk about the rushing touchdowns for DeSant. We just touched on him, and it looks like the best odds, or it looks like what they feel like he's going to rush for. Let's open this up a little bit. Looks like, okay, I'm sorry, this is actually yards. Okay, so I was completely off on that. So this is his rushing yards. So it looks like they're thinking that he's going to go for over 150. I could see that. I could see him going for maybe more than that. It just really all depends on how many, reps do we want to give him? Like how many carries do we want to give him in this game? I think that with us being maybe a little bit shorthanded at running back, we don't have Bishop going. We're going to have Peyton Lewis. We could also have Keith and some walk-on guys. I mean, I could see him getting a pretty solid amount of carries. So if it's me, I think that he 150 or 175. That's what I'm looking at right now. I don't know if he's going to go for 175. So yeah, I think that 150, that would probably be the best place to put your bets at, and that's plus 174. So total points right here, Mississippi State and Tennessee, they're saying that the over-under is 41.5. I'm definitely taking the over on that because I think that Tennessee by themselves will probably, score more than that. Now let's come on down actually and see what the odds are for Tennessee's scoring. So wow, man, over 27.5. Let me open this up for y'all because that's not even, I don't think that that's even close. We got to come on down. Come on down. So it looks like they're saying somewhere between 41 and like 42 points. Yeah, that's about where I'm at with it. I think Tennessee could potentially maybe score 45 plus. So if you wanted to go with 45 plus, that would be over 44.5. And then you get plus 118 with that one. I think that that's where I would place my money at. Now let's scroll. Man, they got a lot of these. Let's keep on scrolling. Let's see what they say for Mississippi State. I'm just curious as to how many points does FanDuel think that they're going to score in this game. And it looks like they've settled in at about 19 to 20 points. I think that that's too much. I don't think that they're going to score that many points. Tennessee has not allowed 19 points in a game all season. Is this the game that maybe a team could break that? Again, it would have to come, I believe, in some mop-up duty with some of our backup guys playing. If it's me though, I don't think that they score. I'm going to be very safe right here and say I don't think that they'll score more than 18 and a half. Okay, so that's minus 111 if you place that bet. That's where I'll put my money at. And I'm actually going to come back up to the top and get rid of this so that we can come on through. Let's see. Do we have any more? Okay, so that's going to be it for this one. Those are all the bets. Let me tell y'all something else too, just real quick. If y'all do just so happen to find a place where you can place a bet on Tennessee's tight ends and their passing yards and touchdowns and things like that, I think that our tight ends, just as a group, will get at least one touchdown in this game. I think that they should have a really nice game, and the reason for that is Mississippi State's linebackers have not looked good in pass coverage by any means. So if you see that, then put your money there. I mean, I can almost guarantee you that they're going to go off. But that's it for this video. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And as always, thank y'all for sticking all the way to the end. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, family, and other volunteer fans. We'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.